And for more on the high stakes of this escalating violence, I spoke with former Senator George Mitchell, who most recently served as President Obama's Special Envoy for Middle East Peace. Senator Mitchell, thank you very much indeed for joining me. Now, neither side appears to be backing down, so clearly this isn't going to be over in a few days' time. But just how serious is this? I mean, could we be seeing the start of an all-out war here?
It is a very serious issue, and I have been saying for some time, nearly a year, that there was a lull that had created a false sense of security on all sides. The real danger is not so much from the internal conflict within Gaza, although that's very serious. It is that given the highly unstable and volatile situation in the region, that this could be a spark that lights a conflict that extends in other unpredictable ways, perhaps region-wide. So it's a very serious matter, both on its own terms and in the potential consequences.
And are you seeing any signs of that happening imminently?
Well, there's a long pattern in history here. You said at the outset that neither side appears to be backing down. That's been the case in the past, but in the past also they have found it in their mutual interest to establish a ceasefire, at least for a period, a lull, if you will. And I think that's the central objective now, to limit or reduce or hopefully to eliminate the kind of violent conflict that's occurring, so that there can be a renewed effort to try to get at the underlying causes and to try to establish some sensible arrangement in the region.
And it's a real test for the Arab Spring as well, isn't it? Because we're looking at a new world order. The US is asking Egypt's help to help defuse the situation. What is America's role right now?
Well, the role of the United States is, as it has been in the past, as the only entity that's capable of establishing the circumstances that could lead to a negotiation and to peace. And with our allies, I know that there are at this very moment American officials in Europe trying to organize a united response to deal with this immediate crisis. It remains one to try to stabilize the situation, to create the context in which Israelis and Palestinians can sit down and negotiate directly, hopefully leading to an agreement. That's proven impossible to attain so far, but I think it is so much in the self-interest of both sides that they will ultimately come around to it.
But Senator Mitchell, you are one of the people who has been one of the prime movers for peace in this region. What is your gut instinct? I mean, can this ever really be achieved?
Yes, I don't believe there's any such thing as a conflict that can't be ended, or that conflict that is inevitable to last forever. Individuals and societies both act out of self-interest, and I think ultimately both sides here, Israelis and Palestinians, will recognize that it is in their self-interest to reach an agreement. Now, it's also in the self-interest of countries in the region. You mentioned the so-called Arab Spring. It's proven to be a very long and difficult winter for the Arabs, particularly with what's going on now in Syria, problems that continue in other parts of the region, all the while the Gulf Arabs especially feeling menaced by the events in Iran. So it's complicated. There are a lot of intersecting conflicts, but I do think that the immediate task must be to stabilize the situation, to reduce the violence, to try to bring about an immediate or as soon as possible ceasefire, one similar to what has gone on for many years, and then to try to get at the root causes of the problem.
Well, Senator Mitchell, thank you very much indeed for joining us from New York.